Gone are the days of your grandma's brokerage account. Now we have Robinhood, an app that allows you to invest with commission-free trades. It allows you to buy cryptocurrency, gives you free stocks, and a lot more. Today, we're talking about this particular app for beginners. This is a beginner's video. Maybe you're looking into either getting Robinhood or you've gotten it and you're trying to figure out, how do I navigate this thing? How do I make the best investment decisions? We're gonna break it all down here in this video today. Now, one thing that I hope is very helpful is down below in this timeline of the video, you can actually hop to whatever section works best for you. If you want the full value, I recommend watching the whole video from start to finish. But if there's one particular thing that you're trying to find out, check out the chapters, hop to what works best for you, and I hope that's helpful for you. If it is, don't be dumb, tap the thumb down below. All right, let's get started with today's beginner video on Robinhood. I'm actually gonna pull up my iPhone screen and take you live through the entire process so you can follow along with me. Now, one thing I think that's important to note right from the start is that Robinhood is a member of the SIPC. That means they protect the securities in your account up to $500,000. If you want to learn more about that, you can go over to the sipc.org website. So here's the outline of what we're going to talk about today in this beginner's video. We're going to talk about how to sign up and how to claim your free stock simply just for signing up. We're going to talk about how to search for different stocks and ETFs within the Robinhood platform. We're going to then talk about how to transfer money into the platform, how to buy stocks and what stocks should you buy, as well as cryptocurrency. We're going to talk about how to sell stocks and how to transfer money out back into your bank account. And the most important thing that I think some of you are wondering, is Robinhood still legit? There was some news that broke in 2021 about GameStop and all this hype stock. Is it safe? We'll address that later on in the video. Now, I've been using Robinhood for about 7 months, and right here is my current portfolio at $989. I don't transfer a lot of money into this because I'm starting out very small, but you can see if I click on all throughout the entire Robinhood experience over the last 7 months, I've grown $441, which is an 80% improvement on my typical $10 a week invested into Robinhood. So I'm gonna break this all down for you today, don't worry. Let's get started with first, how do you sign up for the thing? If you are interested and you don't already have the app, there is a link down below in the description of this video. If you click on that link, it's gonna take you over to this website right here. Do you see how that works? Simple and easy. It is telling you, hey, you get a free stock for signing up. So the free stock could range anywhere from $2 up to about $200. So it all depends what you get, but it's worth at least starting off with a free stock. So once you do that, click claim your free stock, type up your information right here, and then download the app. Once you have the app downloaded to your phone, what you're gonna wanna do is open it up, which I'm doing right now. And there you go, there's a free stock waiting for you. Sounds pretty awesome. Click get your free stock. It's gonna take you over to this next screen. It's gonna ask you where you're from. Of course, you can choose whatever country you're from, but once you click on your country, it's gonna ask you for your email address. Simply type that in, and then we're gonna move on and say, what is your Robinhood password? Now, this is what you want it to be for the app every time you log in. Set your password, and then hop over to the next screen, and right here we see, what is your legal name? First name, last name, simple and easy. Hit continue. What is your phone number? They need that so they can make sure you're legit. Type in your phone number. They are gonna text you a security code. You're gonna wanna type that code into the Robinhood app, so that way they know your phone number is also legit. You should then see this screen that says success, your phone number is verified. If you change your phone number in the future, you do need to verify it again. Simple and easy as that. Next screen, your date of birth. That is important and required, and I'll get to that in just a second why that part's important. Type in your date of birth, type in your address, your residential address where you get your mail, where your citizenship is. You can see right here is an example of the United States of America. I'm gonna choose that. And then you gotta verify your identity. And this is where things get very interesting. A lot of people get concerned about this point right here. Social security number. Why does Robinhood need that? Well, there's actually a good reason why. They need both your date of birth, your personal information, and your social security number. By law, it's required that when you buy and sell trades and stocks and investments, you got to report that to the government for tax reporting purposes. So that is something, especially for the United States, that requires them to ask you for your social security number. They're not trying to be scammy or weird or anything like that. It's actually required by law because they have to report to the government if you make profits in your stock market investment trades. So that's why they're asking for that as part of the sign-up process. Then when you're done with that, it's gonna hop over to this screen. How much investment experience do you have? Very simple, none, not much, I know what I'm doing, or I'm an expert. Totally up to you what you wanna choose. It's your call completely. Then, are you employed? They're going to look for any employment status. You're going to type in what your employer name is as well as your occupation and job description. And then they're going to ask you two very strange questions. Are you or a family member a senior executive or a 10% shareholder at a publicly traded company? That's important because of insider trading laws. The next thing it's going to ask you, do you or your family member work for another brokerage? Then here comes the long-winded fine print. You can feel free to read the entire thing if you want, and once you're done, you go ahead and you hit acknowledge. Then it's time to link up your bank. A lot of people ask me about this too. Now they use Plaid. This is a very common website that links up your bank account to certain apps and brokerages and things like that. Why do they need your bank account? Well, that's because you need to transfer money in order to trade money on the stock market. Not only that, let's say you want to cash out and you want to transfer some of that profit to your bank account. It works both ways. So that's why you got to link up your bank account so you can transfer your first deposit in as well as transfer money out. And again, I'm going to share that all today in this video, step by step on the screen once we get to that point. So that is how you sign up. Now, there sometimes is an approval process that can take 24 hours up to a couple days. The people that tend to not get approved within the first 24 hours may have messed up their application, or there's something on their file with their social security number or their identity that doesn't match up. So they're doing a discount double check, so to speak, and sometimes they had to do a manual review. So if you're stuck in that long approval process, you might want to ping Robinhood and ask, hey, is something wrong? So once you're approved, you get your bank account linked up, you'll have access to the Robinhood account. Here is my current portfolio and the back part of my Robinhood app. Very first thing I want to talk about inside of the app is how do you search for stocks and ETFs and things like that. Now, this is not financial advice. You need to make sure that you're doing your own research, and if you need to, consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. So what I'm going to do is take you behind the scenes of how I can search for a stock. Let's pick one that most people are familiar with, and that's Apple. So let's say I want to invest in Apple. As I look here on my iPhone, for example, I want to invest in Apple, the guys that make the iPhone. I'm going to click on the magnifying glass located at the bottom of the Robinhood app. So you see that? You click on that, and then right here at the very top it says Browse Search Companies. Click on that, and then simply you could either type in Apple, the whole entire name, or if you do know the ticker symbol in the stock market, you can type that as well. Apple happens to be AAPL, and right there it is, Apple. I can click on that, and right there it is. This is the statistics of this particular stock. I can see how it is for the day, I can see how it is for the week, the month, 3 months, 1 year, 5 years, and so on. And what's really cool is if I push and hold, do you see how I'm doing this? I can actually see what the price was as I go back in time here. So here we are, November 4th, 2016, sitting at $27.21. Of course, Apple did have a stock split, but regardless of that, Robinhood allows you to kind of go through and do a little bit of basic research there. I can then come down here and look at some basic stats of the company, such as their stock price, their 52-week high and low, the volume, average volume, PE ratio, and everything in between. I also really like how easy it is just to look at the news. News, I think, is very important when it comes down to stocks, so you can see what's going on with the companies that you're most interested in. So here we got Apple, and it has some news going on here, and then it has this analyst ratings. First thing I like to look at is how many people rated this particular stock. You can see here it's 42, which is pretty darn good. So 42 analyst ratings, you got buy, hold, and sell. And most people are saying that Apple might be a buy. Looks like 71% of the 42 analysts said Apple is a good one. And then right below that, you can see bulls and bears. Now, bulls means they believe the stock's going to the moon. The bears are thinking, no, this is going to flatline and potentially drop. So you can kind of get both sides of the spectrum. What are the people that think that Apple's going to do great? What are they saying? And then if you scroll over here, you can see the people that don't think Apple's going to do a good job and why they say that. So makes it super simple. You can then get a little bit more in depth if you want to with an upgrade option called Robinhood Gold. Now, keep in mind, Robinhood is absolutely free to use. You can download the app for free. You can use the app for free. If you want to upgrade, though, to get additional research and additional reporting, you can do that with the Robinhood Gold service. For beginners, I'm not going to go into that, but as you continue to learn, if you want to upgrade, it's totally your call. It's going to give you some earnings, and earnings are important because you want to know what are your earnings per share. Are you beating what they expected you to earn? And in this case for Apple, they are indeed. So you can see here the little faint little dot represents what they thought your earnings per share were going to be. Once Apple reported their actual earnings per share, it was a dark green. So you can see they're actually outperforming the expectations. That's a pretty good thing. This allows you, in a super simple way, especially for beginners, to get a very good taste of how a company's doing. Is this company doing well, or is it not doing too well? Very easy to check it out right here in the Robinhood app. Now, if I hop back here to the magnifying glass and I close out of this, I can also look at some of their popular lists, such as crypto, 100 most popular, technology, all of that kind of good stuff. And you can kind of click on what you're most interested in. So for example, if you like real estate, I can tap on real estate and it'll let you know some of the different real estate investments in that particular sector. You can go in, look at healthcare, software, banking, look at all this good stuff. So you can start there, or you can type your own right here at the top. A lot of you that are interested in cryptocurrency, you can do the same thing either by tapping the crypto list, or you can hop over here and type in things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. You can click on that and there you go. We're into the Bitcoin. Next up on deck, let's talk about how do you actually transfer money into the Robinhood app so you can invest it into the stock market. I want to actually scale up and get $1,000 in my account. Right now I'm at $9.89, so I need roughly 20 bucks. So I'm going to transfer 20 bucks in right now. First thing you want to do at the bottom, remember how we clicked on the magnifying glass? Hop over two more to that little human stick figure looking thing. Do you see that right there? Tap on that and that's going to take you right over here. I want to go down to where it says transfers. It's the third option down. Click on transfers and then you want to transfer to Robinhood. You can see you have three different options. You can transfer to Robinhood, transfer to your bank, like if you want to withdraw money out of Robinhood. And number three, you can schedule automatic deposits. By the way, really quick, I think that's a cool option if you're cutting something out of your budget. For those of you that are sweet lifers that have watched me here on this channel, you know that I'm a big component of cutting out Starbucks, and I used to spend a ton of money on Starbucks. So if I wanted to, I could actually set up an automatic deposit. Instead of going to Starbucks, it's going to transfer maybe $10 a week into Robinhood at a set schedule that I declare. I can do whatever I want, whether it's every Friday, every other Friday, at once a month. You can set that up in the scheduled automatic deposits. But what I do is I actually do it manually by clicking the very top option that says transfer to Robinhood. And then it's going to say how much do you want to transfer in. If you have not linked your bank account yet, it's going to kind of fuss at you and say, yo, it's time to link your bank account if you want to transfer money in. So just keep that in mind. Mine is already linked, so I have nothing to worry about there. And I'm going to select $20. That's what I want to transfer in to Robinhood. So I'm going to hit review. And then it says the funds will be deducted from your bank account within the next several days. It shows up just like this in your bank account. It says Robinhood funds, and it does take usually a couple of days. But here's what's really cool about Robinhood. I'm going to hit submit. It's going to say the deposit is initiated. Sounds great. And then I'm going to hit continue. Boom. Instant deposit. That means they're giving you the option to use your money right away before it's pulled out of your bank account. You can do that up to $1,000 every single time that you transfer in. Just keep in mind that if you do anything crazy or if your bank declines transfer or anything like that, they will put a stop on you. But as long as you maintain good standing, you will have this instant deposit available, which means if I hit done, you can now see at the top, my total value is $1,000. So I got $1,010.59 in my account. Now that we transferred money in, let's talk about how do we buy stocks. That sounds pretty cool, right? So I'm going to go over to my portfolio by clicking the very far left-hand side that looks like a little bit of a graph going upwards. That's how I get to my portfolio. Right here it is, $1,010 as we just saw. And then you can see my buying power right now is $20. That buying power is the cash that you have on hand that's not already invested. Now, I will say again, this is not financial advice. You can see what I'm invested in currently in Robinhood. That does not mean that I'm saying go out and do this yourself, but you can decide what you want to do. Now, I can purchase another share of AGNC. There, that T means AT&T. Down below there's Coca-Cola. I can either buy a brand new stock or I can invest more money into positions that I already own. Let's buy some AT&T. Right now, you can see I own 10 shares of AT&T, and right now it's going for $31.52. So if I click on that, it will then bring up my holdings of AT&T, and I scroll down here, and there's a couple things going on. The very first thing is you can see I have 10 shares. The market value currently of my 10 shares at the going price is $315.20. My average cost is $29.05. What that means is as you buy shares of stock, it lets you know what the cost you bought in averaged over how many shares that you own. So you see the 29.05, if I scroll up here, you can see that AT&T is currently going for 31.52, which means my money has gone up. I'm making money. I bought in at $29, it's now up to $31. Looking pretty good. Then also down here, I want to show you another thing. It says upcoming activity, T dividend, $4.73, coming in on May 3rd. At the recording of this video, by the way, it is May 3rd. So that's pretty exciting, $4.73. Some companies pay you dividends simply for owning shares of their stock. If you want to learn more about that, I have tons of videos all about dividend investing. I'll link it up above here in the note card that you can check out after this video. You can then see my today return as well as my total return since I bought AT&T. But let's get past all that. Let's click that beautiful little green button that says trade down below. I'm going to hit that and then I'm going to hit buy. Of course, I have the option to sell, but I want to hit buy. Now, two different things I can do here when it comes down to buying stocks. I can either buy it in dollars, as you can see at the top right-hand side, or I can trade in shares. Do you see this? Buy in shares. Now, in order to buy a share, I would need $31.50 because that's the current price of AT&T. But remember, I only transferred in $20 and I only have $20 in cash buying power. So I can't actually afford an entire share of AT&T. But this right here is what makes Robinhood awesome. I can go back and say I want to buy in dollars, and then I can either buy $20 worth of AT&T, which is a fraction of a full share, or I can say I only want to buy $10 of AT&T. Let's try that out. I'm going to go $10, I'm going to hit review, and then it says simply swipe up to submit. Look at the order summary really quick. You're buying $10 of T based on the current market price of $31.52. You will receive approximately 0.317258 shares. In the old days, your grandma's brokerage account, you had to buy an entire share of stock in order to trade in the stock market. No more do you have to do that. You can buy with as little as $1 here on Robinhood and get a fraction of a share. Super freaking awesome. I'm going to hit swipe up to submit. It's going to do a little bit of a process, and there it is. T order completed, and there we go, with an average price per share of $31.53. Hit done. And there we are, guys. There we are. I now have 10.317208 shares of AT&T with a market value of $325.20. And what I recommend, a lot of people have asked me, so do I just basically put in money and just hope it grows? There's a lot more to it than that, but typically what I would recommend, buy something that you know about, that you understand, and that you have a good time losing money to. What I mean by that is a lot of people will invest their money, and let's say the stock price goes down. They freak out and they sell at a loss. Why would I want to sell at a loss? I just put $10 into AT&T. If tomorrow I drop by 50% and my value is only worth $5, I'm not going to sell and get $5 back. Why would I give you $10 to only get $5? That's dumb. What I recommend is hold on for the long term. If you have faith in this company, you stick with it for the long term, and onward and upward you go as long as the company continues to produce. So I don't care if tomorrow it goes down 50%. I'm holding on for the long term. Never get off the roller coaster in the middle of the ride. Wait till it gets back to the station. Now, you're also going to notice one thing here on the app. Do you see the little message looking thing? It has a little red dot on it. That means you have a notification. I'm going to click on that, and it's saying, boom, there's two notifications. First one, you started a deposit for $20 from your investor checking account, and blah, 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 blah. Sounds great. You can ask if you want to get more details and all that stuff, but I'm not worried about that right now. I'm going to hop back and look at my other notification. Here we got AT&T letting me know that I bought $10 of AT&T. Sounds good. So let me hop back over to my portfolio. How do you do that? Once again, down below, far left-hand side, that's how you get back to your portfolio. I'm going to click it twice, and here we are back at the portfolio. You can now see my buying power went down because I already purchased $10 of AT&T. Now I only got $10 left, but I can invest it, and I think I'm going to. Now I hope you can see already how easy is this. This just makes it so super easy. And the beautiful thing about Robinhood is they execute the trades right away. So there's my T at 10.32 shares rounded up. And it's rocking and rolling. Things are looking great. Now the same thing with cryptocurrency. If I wanted to buy cryptocurrency on Robinhood, I could do that by clicking on the magnifying glass. Let's say you want to buy some Bitcoin. No, I'm not buying Dogecoin, if you're wondering. I'm going to click on Bitcoin. Right here it is. I can hit buy. And then I currently have the $10 available that we already know about because I already put $10 toward AT&T. I can put $5, I could do $10, I can do whatever. And then of course you're going to get a fraction of a Bitcoin, because currently Bitcoin is going for $57,000 as of the recording of this video. Now, in all honesty, I am not going to trade the cryptocurrency here on this video. I don't really recommend it on Robinhood, and I'm more a big stock guy, so that is what I'm going to put my money toward. Now, what about selling a stock? Can you sell a stock? Of course you can, anytime you want. You got to look at what your current stocks are right here in your portfolio. And let's say you want to sell some Coca-Cola. I'm going to click on Coca-Cola here. I'm going to hit trade and I'm going to hit sell. Now, I have a few options that I can do, just like when I bought my share of AT&T. I can trade in dollars, or I can tap the top right-hand side and select shares. I can sell an entire share and get $54.48 is the estimated return back on that. I could sell all 5, which is selling all of my Coca-Cola. Or I can hop back here and sell fractions. Let's say I only want to sell $2 worth of Coca-Cola. I could do that. I could hit review and submit it just like we did with the buy order of AT&T, only in reverse. Then what would happen, by the way, I don't want to sell Coca-Cola, so I'm not going to do that right now. But what would happen is, let's say I sell the $2 worth of Coke, it would then, once it's executed, go back into my cash buying power. Remember, right now it's $10. That would go up to $12 because the $2 would be added to the existing 10. Now, I do want to recognize something that I didn't show you when you were buying and selling earlier. Let me hop back to AT&T and let me hit trade and then let me hit buy. When I click on the little dollars at the top right-hand side, there are some other options other than buying in dollars and buying in shares. You can see it has recurring investment, limit order, trailing stop order, and stop limit order. I'm going to consider some of these things a little bit more of an intermediate focus, not for beginners. Remember, this video is Robinhood Investing for beginners. I want to focus on that. So I'm not going to go over the limit orders. If you want to see a little bit more of how that works, comment down below and let me know, and I'll make a little bit more of an advanced video on how to use Robinhood for those type of people. But one thing I would recommend that you look at is recurring investment. Let's say you really like a particular stock. In this case, it's AT&T, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever stock that you're interested in, you can click on that, and then you can select how often do you want to invest in this particular fund. You can do it daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, and then you can set how much you're going to invest in every single week, month, bi-weekly, whatever you set that cadence to. And what's really cool about that is over time, it'll automatically deduct it from your bank account that you have linked to Robinhood and continue to grow your portfolio as you continue to buy shares of whatever stock that you're interested in. So that's stocks. You can do the same thing with ETFs. If you know the ETF ticker symbol, let's say, for example, let me think. SCHD is a very popular ETF. Here it is. You can buy that if you want, the same way as you bought the AT&T stock. If you're not familiar with what an ETF is, I also have videos on ETFs right here on the channel. Basically, think about it this way. I bought one share of AT&T, which means if AT&T crashes tomorrow, I lose all of my money. But an ETF has a basket of many different stocks within that ETF, and it's traded at one single price. That's a better way to do it, because if one of those eggs in the basket falls out and cracks, you don't lose the entire basket. That's what an ETF is all about in a very short, focused example. All right, we transferred money in, we bought a stock. How do you transfer money out? That's what's next. Just like we did when we transferred money in, we're going to go to the very far right-hand side where that little human stick figure thing is. Click on that, and then we're going to go back here to transfers. Click on transfers, and then you can transfer to your bank. So instead of transferring into Robinhood, you're going the other way with it. You're going to transfer it into your bank. Now, right now I have no money available because right now they're pulling the $20 out of my bank account. So that's why you don't see $10 available, because it still hasn't completed the actual transition from my bank into Robinhood. So if I wanted to, let's say I did have $10 available, I could actually hit the $10, hit review, and then it takes a couple days and then it'll show up in my bank account. Of course, I've done this before, and I'll show you in this example. In this example, I transferred on March 15th, 2021, a whole whopping $1.77. Guys, I don't actually remember why I needed that money, but I don't think I needed it because who needs $1? But whatever. I transferred $1.77 from Robinhood to my bank account. It initiated on March 15th, and right here you see it in my bank account. This is what it shows up as for my particular banking account once Robinhood transfers that money back. So That's kind of how that works when you want to transfer money out. And it makes it super easy to use because you can do it kind of on demand. Keep in mind, I always recommend using a checking or a savings account with ACH withdrawal. That is because if you do some type of wire transfer or some other sketchy way to get your money back, Robinhood could potentially charge you a fee. You don't want that. You want to do it fee-free. Why would you spend money for something stupid like that, right? That's my opinion. Do it ACH, and it's absolutely free to do it. Now, before we get to the big topic, you may ask, well, wait a minute, what about that free stock you were talking about? Well, yes, you signed up for Robinhood, you got everything situated, you should have a free stock waiting on you. What you do is go back to the stick figure man on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, you click on him, and then you click on the very top notice, which is free stocks. For inviting or past invites or anything like that, you click on that, and what would happen is if you did have a free stock available, you can see I don't, but if I did, it would say, hey, you have a free stock, claim it. You click claim, and onward and upward you go to claiming your free stock for starting with Robinhood. What's really cool is if you get to know Robinhood and you want to share it with friends, you can do that. All you have to do is hit share link, and look what happens here. It pops up with a bunch of different options. You can also invite your contacts by connecting your address book or anything like that. And that way, if you want to, let's say you're talking to your friends about Robinhood and they're like, hey, that sounds cool, I want to try it too. Send them your link, you'll get a free stock, and so will they, simply for signing up. Now, as you can see right here, I still have it up. Here's my portfolio. It's now worth $1,000. I've had this thing for 7 months, and I've grown $442. I'm super excited about it, and I know a lot of people are thinking Robinhood is a complete disaster because of the GameStop thing. If you're not aware, basically what happened was during GameStop's crazy short squeeze, where it was going up in price and down in price and all over the place, you were living under a rock if you didn't hear the news on GameStop. There was a lot of volatility in that stock, and because it was flying off the charts, a lot of brokerage apps, including more than Robinhood, had to halt trading of those particular shares. Because whether you know it or not, because everything's free to you, they had to put up capital with the clearinghouses in order to execute certain trades. So for those people that were trying to get in fast on this hot stock, they got extremely mad at Robinhood. So if that's you, if you're trying to use Robinhood to go absolutely crazy and buy things and sell things and go nut and to the moon and all that other kind of stuff, you may not like Robinhood. But if you're an investor that wants to be smart, long-term, build your portfolio, build your millions, that is where I would recommend Robinhood because it's super easy to use. Throughout this entire hype and craziness, I never had an issue with Robinhood. I've been using it. It's been fine because I'm not investing in the hype stocks. I'm going for good growth funds, and I'm looking for things that pay a dividend. I'm a big dividend fan. I love dividends. Love getting paid extra money. You saw earlier that I had an AT&T dividend coming in. It's going to be extra money that shows up in the buying power that I can use to buy more stocks or to transfer to my bank account or whatever. That is what is so exciting about using Robinhood the safe way, the long-term way. Before you know it, I'm going to grow this up to $10,000, $25,000, $100,000 because I'm focused on paying off my debt and then taking that debt and building my portfolio over a long period of time. So if you're worried about, is Robinhood legit? Look, if you're using it for long-term safe investments, I have no problem with it. And I will continue to use it. I use a ton of brokerage apps, by the way. If you haven't seen on my channel, I use Webull, Stash, Robinhood, everything. I use Charles Schwab, all kinds of different brokerages. But I gotta say, I love how easy it is to use Robinhood. I love the people, by the way, that will say, hey, go get this brokerage, it's awesome, and it's not Robinhood, but then they'll post up this type of screen, and you know, based on the user interface, they're using Robinhood. So you're promoting a different brokerage, but at the end of the day, you're still showing examples in Robinhood. And it's because it's so easy and so well organized. That's the beauty of the app. I hope this was helpful. Did I miss anything? Comment below, and I'll do my best to comment back and answer the question that you may have. But until next time, here's some other videos that may help you in your future financial success. And until next time, we'll see you on the next video.